Doc Loves the Kids, a local Kitsap County nonprofit organization established in 2015 whose mission is to provide activities, programs, and community support for at-risk youth.
They put the U in community.
Doc Loves the Kids.
Welcome to Plays and Parlays. I am your host, Wesley, along with my co-hosts, Louisiana T and Mike P. And we're going to give you guys the take on this weekend sports. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to start off with the shocker in New York. This is what's been going on. I think everyone's talking about this. The Knicks are down 0-2. We're 0-4 right now. We all across the board basically said that we felt like the Knicks had this series wrapped up. But obviously, the Indiana Pacers had something in the bag, and they said, don't count us out. So Louisiana, man, I know you're like, you've been very, very on top of this series. I know you have a lot of takes about this series. Are you still going for the Knicks, or has something changed your mind that's gone on over the last 4 days or so that's helped to change your mind?
Well, if they're giving up over 40% from three-point line, they're not going to win shit. All right. So if they can fix their defensive problems right now, I feel like they can come back pretty quickly in this series. And there's been a lot of teams to start off 0-2 and come back to win 4-2, 4-3, whatever the case is. So I'm not giving up on the Knicks in that case. I still think they can do it. It's not impossible.
With the way that they're whooping on them, though. With the way that they're beating. I mean, the first game you looked at it, we're like, okay, they just came back. They had some crazy shots. They came into the gym and they threw up some stuff. And Halliburton, he did double dribble. I mean, the first game, but that's the past. But right now, with the way that they dominated them last game in New York, you got to go over here and take at least 2 games, at least one over here. I think maybe even 2 right now, right?
I feel like if you take one of them, you at least put the pressure back on to Indiana a little bit, right? Because then you got to go back to New York, and you feel like Indiana has to win that game 5.
It's 3-1.
At that point, I know, but at that point, you feel like you have to win that game, because then if New York wins that game 5, you're going back home for game 6 with a lot of pressure, because if you lose that game, you ain't winning a game 7 in New York.
I don't know, man.
I just don't see it happening. So there's a lot of things that are going, right? There's a lot of rolling parts with this series. But like I was saying, man, I honestly feel like Brunson is playing lights out. Towns is playing lights out. They don't have any help right now. Okay, if I'm being very honest with you, because think about last series for a second, right, against Boston.
Okay.
Who was the defensive player of that series?
We got
Bridges.
Josh Hart. Yeah, we got Bridges Hart. Go ahead.
It was definitely Bridges.
He had those 2 or 3 game stops at the end of games to where it was like, okay, great. If it wasn't for those 3 plays, you're probably not winning the series, right?
Absolutely.
Against a better Boston team. So this series, he's non-existent. He's minus 15 on the first game as far as plus minus on points whenever he's on the floor. Josh Hart is non-existent. I have no idea where he's been at for this series. Game 1, I think he had 12 rebounds. Game 2, he just had 4 rebounds. So everybody talks about how he's on there for rebounds and stuff. What's he rebounding at this point? You're giving up over 50% on the field goal percent. You're not going to win anything at that point, So now I feel like you kind of have to. Yeah, exactly. I feel like you have to change your whole game plan at this point, because what you came into this series was hoping that your defense could stop Halliburton. You were hoping that the defense could out rebound them on the shots. So that, because basically right now what they've been doing game 1 and game 2, they've been forcing threes, right? They've been forcing those outside shots to come in. The problem is the Pacers are on fire right now. Okay, they're not getting out there. They're not getting hands in the face. They're not close enough. Like in the pros, it's kind of like in football, right? In high school, you throw the ball, it's 5 yards difference. They're open, right? If it's 4 yards, 3 yards in college, they're open. In the pros, if it's an inch, they're open. It's the same thing in the NBA. It's a different game, right? So if you can't get close enough to where that hand's in the face, that's not good defense at that point.
Let me ask you. So what do you think, before I pass it on to Mike? So what do you think is something that could help change this series, or something that could put this series back into a place to where the Knicks may have an opportunity to come back and win this series? Do you think there's anything?
Miles McBride. The point guard, Miles McBride, is their only option, I think, at this point. That's a guy that gives you a different feel for the game when he's on the floor. His plus minus right now, he was plus 16 his first game. He was plus 9 game 2. He's almost plus 30, man, on the first 2 games against a team that has everybody else in the minus, by the way. So that when that guy's on what I look at when I see that is that guy's on the floor, the vision opens up. Brunson opens up his game. You can get that quick pick and pop with him and Brunson up top. Brunson's really good at off-the-ball stuff. He's very good at making himself get open for shots. If you can get somebody else on the floor that can really take advantage of that, they're right back in this series. And again, that opens up Towns underneath too, by the way, because then you got to worry about these 2 guys on the outside, and now you got to put another person on Brunson up top that you wouldn't have to be there up front, right? So now you have a lot more stuff to worry about. I feel like he opens up the floor a lot. Josh Hart is way too damn slow on defense right now. Bridges is too slow. The paces are way too fast for those 2. But the only reason Bridges was very good game 1 or the first series against Boston, by the way, was the fact that Boston was slow and methodical, right? That's why he could sit back and he could slowly play defense. This is a way faster game.
I got you. Well, okay. I mean, that's a hell of a take. You know what I mean? But, Mike, I know we've talked about this last week, and we were all pretty much on board for New York. Have you changed flags here, or are you sticking with your original pick, and why, if not?
I'm gonna stick with the Knicks. It's a little iffy, it's a little spooky right now, you know what I'm saying? But
yeah, definitely.
being down 0-2 is happened before plenty of times. Now, the Thunder just did that last series. They're not the same team. I'm not going to compare them, but besides them, there's plenty of people who have been down 0-2 and had a bad start to a series and ended up coming back. With the Knicks, it's all about adjustments. You know what I mean? You just look back on what you've done and make these and fix these mistakes. You know what I'm saying? That's all you basically need to do. It's kind of that simple. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be kind of hard. You're gonna be in Indiana for these next 2 games, so it's gonna be a different atmosphere and everything like that. But all you gotta do is just get your head in the game for real. I don't know if it's because of the pressure that was on them. The Knicks haven't been this far in so long. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I don't know if it's in their head right now to where they're them wanting perfection so much is what's making their downfall. But you need to just relax, you know what I mean? Really play ball like how y'all been playing all season in the playoffs before these series. You know what I'm saying? That's really
it's them getting walked down for me, Mike. That I was like, that walk down seemed like after that, it felt like they just took their heart on their home floor. Imagine being in New York. Okay, you're in Indiana. There's local radio stations. There's this, there's that, but it ain't like New York. It ain't like you go home. They heard that for 2 straight days. They were berated probably for 2 straight days on the radio, television, whatever you want to call it from there. But they were berated. Do you think they can come back or something like that? I don't see who do you think is the leader that'll push them through to get them through this right here? Who do you think can do that for them?
As far as that, I would say honestly, maybe I'm just putting a lot of what would you say, a lot of faith in Brunson, but Brunson, you know what I mean? Brunson has it in him.
He's a baller.
There's nothing nobody can say to me that would make me look at Brunson like he's not a leader, like he's not the right player to be able to bring them back. You know what I'm saying? I can't say Towns, but Towns is a lot. He's really he's emotional. You know what I'm saying? He's very emotional. I haven't really seen Brunson really show his feelings. He's out there to play ball. That's what he's out there for. That's what he's gonna try to do. You know what I'm saying? It's possible, in my opinion. You know what I mean? But it's like I said, it's just gonna be a lot of work. I look at it as far as like the Pacers and the Knicks, right? The Knicks supporters and everybody like that is like rooting for them, and they see what they're doing. So now they're giving them that high praise, and it's kind of like setting them back because they have that in their mindset that they already got it. Whereas with the Pacers, they're getting bashed. They going this far, and people still think that they not
nothing
them.
to lose.
You know
Nothing to lose. Nothing to lose.
So now they out there hungry to prove a point, not just for themselves, but to everybody who's sitting over here downplaying them. You know what I mean? Especially Halliburton. Everybody think he's overrated.
And they're
playing.
What I mean?
He is an inconsistent player. But right now in the playoffs, he's been consistent to me. You know what I mean? So it's just like it's two different outlooks of it. If they can overcome these and make these adjustments, they can come back and get it. At least not even if they don't come back, they'll be able to put up a fight with this series. But if they don't, it's gonna look ugly. You know what I mean? There's a chance that the Pacers could just sweep them if they don't get this together. You know what I mean? So
I know that T was like basically that they could win one game over in Indiana. If they're down 3-1, it's over. In my book, it's over. You're down 3-1. I think there's only been like maybe 2 teams that have come back from down 3-1. I think they're just, and it happened in the same playoff series. I think that was 2016 or something like that. Back with LeBron and with the Golden State also did it. It's not; those are incredible teams. I don't see New York as being one of them. They don't really have. To me, you don't have a true third star that I'm seeing, like a true one. Like, okay, somebody who you can say they'll put the game on their back and they'll ride it out. Brunson's a monster. Don't get me wrong, but he can't do it by himself. Not against this team right here. You know what I mean? Right. It kind of some of his weaknesses kind of showed. His height showed that first game when they lost. When they came back by 14, he did. It was like, I'm not sure if it was overtime, but I know he made this pass. Man, he was on his side of the court where he tried to throw it to one of his players, but it was because the players were so much bigger than him. He threw the ball. It was a horrible pass. I mean, I'm surprised. Throw it higher. It was just crazy to me. But it showed his weakness. It's a strength. He turns it into a strength many other times. But during that series, I don't see. He can't do it by himself. He's gonna have to put up 40 a game, and I don't see him doing that. He's not that. He can do it, but he's not that kind of player. Reality. I mean, you look at Big Cat. He's not really. I mean, during the whole playoffs right now, look like he's averaging 20 points a game. They're saying he's averaging 20. That's not. You're not. To me, you're not a second star at 20 points a game, and you're being who you are. I think he was averaging more than that during the season. This is the playoffs. This is the biggest moment of your entire life. I don't think Minnesota's never been this far. Not that I can. I mean, maybe last year they were. They were in the conference finals along with Dallas, weren't they? Was it Denver? Okay, so you've been here, but I mean, reality, and that was a chance for you to win that too. It was honestly a chance for you to win that. This is your opportunity right now on the biggest stage in New York, and you're failing your team. To me, I feel like. I mean, so I'll let you guys go ahead and have a take on this a piece, man. We can start with you, T. What just to kind of finish it off. But this is something that I'm seeing that they can come back. I'm not switching my pick, but at the same time, I might have to switch my pick. To be honest.
Hey man, like I was saying, I feel like they have to change a lot in order to win this series, right? It's not. If they keep the same game plan, they're going to get swept. I'm going to be honest with you because they look so slow on defense. They're not getting back. There's wide open shots. Like you have a team shooting over 40% from 3-point line consistently against you. That's not okay, right? I mean, that shouldn't happen. And they shouldn't have as many wide open shots as they're getting. It almost looks like New York was playing lackadaisical whenever they got up in game 1 and they stopped playing at a certain point because they thought that game was over with about 5 minutes left. And they found out real quick that you can't do that with a team like Pacers because they're going to run up and down on you. And they can score so fast, man. It's just
in a sense they had the same outlook like we all did.
Yeah.
In the sense they had the same outlook that we all did. They probably underestimated the Pacers just as much as we all did too. You know what I mean?
Well,
as soon as they were up, they already did that. They had it.
The Pacers are playing completely free right now. There's no pressure whatsoever this entire series because everybody is looking at New York. Everybody, ESPN, us, every person is talking about how New York is going to win this series and blah, blah, blah. Halliburton's great, but New York's going to win, right? Now Halliburton's playing free. His teammates are playing free. They're just running them and having fun, man. They look like they're having fun on the basketball court. New York does not. Definitely. They look like the pressure is definitely getting to them on the floor.
Definitely. It's majority rule that everybody wants the Knicks to win. So it's definitely that pressure is definitely getting to them for sure. And honestly, I'm still at that point. Like, even if the Pacers, I see them, they're up 2-0, but even if they win this series, I'm gonna still be surprised. Honestly, I'm gonna still just be surprised because I didn't think they would go this far. Honestly, so this is a good series, though.
Let me ask you this: so if they did win the series and they went against OKC, what would be your pick on that?
Okay,
if they come with the fire that they have right now, that would be a nice series. That would definitely be a nice. I'm gonna still say OKC, but if they play how they play, that would be a fight. That would be a dog fight. Honestly, that would be something worth the watch. You know what I mean?
Do you think that they can keep up the shooting though? But because man, they're shooting lights out right now. Lights.
This is what concerns me right now with them. They're gonna have to do. I mean, going home, the energy will be there for them too, and it's home court. They could 4-0 them. They could run away with this and get them out of there. You know what I mean?
They just got hot at the right time, man. Completely. You know what I mean? Like I said, they have not missed.
It's kind of like I think it was about a season or two ago when they were doing the NBA Cup. It wasn't in the playoffs or anything. You guys remember when the Pacers went on that run when Halliburton was hitting for he was doing numbers. You know what I mean? Like this is what it's reminding me of, but just on a bigger stage. You know what I mean? If they could keep it up and stay consistent, they'll go to the next series. But OKC is not going to just let them do what New York is letting them do. You know what I mean? Their defense is way better than the Knicks for sure.
OKC can run too.
Yes, for sure. OKC is some dogs out there. You know what I mean? Minnesota, I don't know about them right now. So I'm pretty sure OKC is going to take that series. And if it's Indiana and OKC, if they play how they play, it's going to be a dogfight for sure. I'm not going to just take them out this time like how I did this series.